Right, back in the workshop again. Another episode. Okay, so if you've seen some of the live videos I've done on Facebook, you'll kind of know where we're up to at the minute. But what I'm going to just show you for those that haven't seen them and who aren't on Facebook, we're at this sort of stage now with the frames. Okay, so we've got two tie rods through there and two here, so there's 4 in total, if you can see that. And then we've got these cross stretches in as well. What we're going to do now is we're going to put these pieces in that are going to fit in here. Now what I've got to do with them is I've got to drill 2 holes that side and 2 holes that side there. Ignore these 4 in the middle, this is actually an offcut, but they'll get filled up. And what these are going to do is they're going to fit in there, if you can see that. Okay, there's going to be one there and there's going to be one there, yeah, which is going to give it a bit more strength in the frames. I'm also going to add, I'm going to drill for the brake hangers as well on both sides, because what I want to do as soon as I can is get all this pinned together, so it's got some structure to it, and then I can kind of almost put this to one side until axle boxes and wheels are done, and then I can work on the top. The top is going to be, as I said before, it's going to be a bit of a work of art. It's going to be quite a difficult thing to do, so it's probably going to eat up quite a lot of time, but the frames are starting to look somewhere near now, which is what we want. So yeah, that's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to get these drilled, put those through. I'm going to strip the frames apart and kind of edit all this together and make it into a nice episode for you. So keep watching. Okay, I hope you can see this. What I'm about to do now is I'm going to drill for the actual main tie rods to pull through these. I'm going a little bit bigger clearance on this because I want them to pass through it. I don't want any tension on them. I don't want them to kind of interfere with what those rods are doing. So I'm going up a little bit bigger in drill size over clearance to allow that little bit of room. And I've got my pin chuck in there because this drill chuck won't go down small enough to hold this drill bit. Start her up. Straight on the crosshairs. Dive it through, pull it back out. What I'm just going to do now is just stop the drill because that is all choked up, look, with all them bits. Get rid of those because I don't want them, and then on to the next one. So there'll be the purists out there saying I'm doing something wrong and this, that and the other, and I should do this and I should do that, but at the end of the day, this is how I do it, and it works for me and it works for what I need. You can see there 2 holes in the side, look, nice and clear. You don't need to worry about the drill picking up and holding onto the woodwork as you're going, so you haven't got to put it in, you haven't got to put your material into a vise or anything on there. You can just hold on to it by hand. Make sure your material stays nice and flat if you can. Only gives you a square hole through the wood if it's nice and flat. There we are, and that's one done. You will find over time, the more you drill, the hotter that's going to get, so rubbing it off with your fingers to get that material off of it that's choked up the flutes. Just be careful that you are going to be touching a bit of hot metal in the drill bit. Yes, I do know that my T-slots are all filled up with swarf and whatnot on this pillar drill. Well, that's because this pillar drill gets used a hell of a lot, and I do clear it out as and when I need to. at the moment. Still got loads of space left for more in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this last one without clearing out the old flutes on there. Right, broken it all off, look. Through for the last one. There we are, that's that bit done. We can now get them fitted. So that's all good for those. Okay, so you've got a good aerial view now of what's going on. You notice I've backed the two tie rods that are going across, the four tie rods, sorry, that are going across the main frames. These aren't doing anything now, they're just being held in position by these four tie rods here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put these two in here and then push them rods back through. Just to make sure that they're all in the right place. Then these two are going to come out then for me to drill for the brake hangers on both sides, and then they can go back in. Once that's all in, I can start thinking about actually putting the dowels in the end, just to see where we need to be. So this one's going to go in here like so. We'll push that through and hopefully we'll pick up the holes where we need to be. As I say, they've got a bit of a bigger clearance on there, and because I'm doing this blind I can't really see over the top. I'm doing it by feel and just hoping I pick them up on the way through. It should be, everything should go swimmingly. Let's push those through. Excuse me. Another one going through there. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to edit you out a little bit so I can get all these pushed through and then we come back in again. Okay, so I've skipped forward a little bit and just popped all these rods in. You'll notice as well I've popped a couple of clamps on in the middle to pull this section together here. And the reason I've done that is it was trying to pull itself out of square, which I didn't want it to do. So I've just popped them on there while I get these rods done up, because then it'll kind of hold it all in place. What it tends to do when you're putting the rods in, it gives itself a little bit of a creak and a moan as it does it. We're not going too tight with these because again I've got to pull it all apart to do the next bit of drilling and messing about. I've still got to manage to sit down at my computer and do some more drawing for the footsteps on the outside, which I actually covered a little bit on the last live on Facebook. I'm hoping I get enough followers soon that I can do lives on YouTube. So again, what you need to do is obviously tell all your friends, get people subscribing to my YouTube channel, because the more subscriptions I get, the more chances I've got of doing a live show on YouTube itself. So you can see there I can actually manipulate the actual frames up and down, but they're starting to look quite square. And just to, can't get it in there and I can't get it in there, so that's gone well out the window. Let's see if I can get it in there. Yeah, perfectly square in there, perfectly square in there, square on the outside. So that's all we need. As long as it's holding square when everything's kind of tight, which that is at the minute. It's tight over the ends, it's tight in here because that's what these two clamps are doing. I noticed there's a slight gap on this side as opposed to that side, but essentially, even though those are, there's a difference between the two in the distance that they are from the center line, it's holding it square, so I can then eventually put these wherever I want them, and it's going to be all square on there. So that'll do for tonight. We won't go too over the top with everything. As I say, click subscribe if you can, you know, so there's more I can do on YouTube if I've got enough followers and stuff like that. So but yeah, what I'll do is I'll just move this a second without losing too many bits and bobs. Just bear with me. Here we are, look. So you can see what's going on now. Yeah, quite a bit of a construction. So that's all good. So yeah, like I said, tell as many people as you can. Get me as many subscribers as we can on YouTube, because it's only going to help expand on what I'm doing, which is hoping to encourage new people into the actual model engineering and model making. It's, for me, it was a progression from double O gauge, like most people. If you fancy making things, this is a bit easier to do because it's a bit bigger, and you can make it as scale as you want. You can weather it. I do a lot of weathering on wagons and locos because it makes it look so much better when it's running around. Yes, the people sat on them are not to scale, but if it's sat in a yard or whatever and it's all dirty and stuff, it makes it look more authentic. So yeah, click subscribe, share it as much as you can, tell as many people as you can, and hopefully one day I'll be able to do lives on YouTube as opposed to Facebook, and we'll reach more people that way. So yeah, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.